Hey there, welcome to another Photoshop tutorial from tutcast.com. So I'm finally back from vacation. I took a lot of photos, but now I have the gruesome task of editing them all. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to whiten teeth in a few very simple steps. So let me zoom in here. Oh, that's disgusting. And as you can tell, my teeth look very yellow in this photo, and I'm going to show you how to whiten them right now. The first thing you need to do, you need to make your selection. Now for this example, I'm going to be using the magic wand tool to make my selection. Now you can use the lasso tool, the pen tool, any tool you want to make your selection, whatever you feel most comfortable in. So I'm going to grab my magic wand tool over here, and if you want, you can go ahead and adjust your tolerance right at the top. I find 32 will work just fine. So I'm going to start by clicking to make my initial selection, and then hold down Shift, and then continue clicking until most of the teeth are selected. So I'm going to go around just like this until I have a pretty nice selection. And again, you can use any tool you want to make your selection, whatever you feel most comfortable using. So there we go, we have a pretty basic selection, and we're not going to leave it right at that. We need to smooth out the selection a little bit. So we're going to feather the selection by going to Select, Modify, and then Feather. And we're doing this just so that when we make our color corrections, they're not as sharp, so they don't look unnatural. So I'm going to feather it approximately 3 pixels. Again, depending on your image size, your feather will vary. So I'm going to click on OK. And you'll probably notice it's smoothed it out just a little bit, which is exactly what we want. And now we're going to add some adjustment layers. So in our layers palette, we're going to click on the black and white button, which is our adjustment layer button. And the first adjustment layer we're going to add is our hue and saturation adjustment layer. We're going to click on that. And if you're on Photoshop CS4, it's going to appear as a panel. If you're on Photoshop CS3 and below, it's going to appear as a dialog box. Both will do the exact same result. So we're going to grab the saturation and decrease it just like this, just to get rid of some of that yellow, and increase the lightness a little bit. Somewhere right around there. It's looking pretty good. They're looking a little bit more white, but the problem is it's getting rid of some of the shadows in the middle of the teeth, which really gives some definition. We want to bring that back a little bit. So we're going to add one more adjustment layer. We're going to hold down Command or Control and click on the adjustment layer to make that selection once again. And we're going to add our levels adjustment layer right there. And very simply, we're going to drag our midtones to the right a little bit to darken it up, and our highlights to the left. And basically play around with the settings until you get something that looks pretty natural. And depending on the type of image that you're working with, the results may vary. And there we go. And I think that looks pretty good. So if we hide our levels, it definitely looks a little bit more natural. And if we take a look at what we started with, we have the yellow teeth, yellow disgusting teeth, and what we have now, nice white natural teeth. Let me zoom out a little bit. Here is our before, and here is our after. It's looking pretty good. So I hope you picked up on some tips in this tutorial. I might have been a little bit shaky. I've been pretty sick over the last week or two. But hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you apply it to your projects. And until next time, this is Howard from tutcast.com. Take care.